Case 1. The bench press that became a coffin. Bench press is one of the most common exercises in any gym. It looks simple, it looks controlled, but it has also caused some of the most horrifying gym deaths ever recorded. In one documented case, a young man in his early 20s attempted a max-weight bench press alone. No spotter, no safety bars. Witnesses said he looked confident, maybe even cocky. As he lowered the bar, everything seemed fine, until it wasn't. The weight stalled on his chest. At first, people thought he was struggling, normal during heavy lifts. But then his arms stopped moving, his face turned red, his body froze. The barbell, loaded with over 180 kilograms, was pressing directly onto his chest and neck. He couldn't shout, he couldn't push, he couldn't breathe. By the time gym staff rushed over and lifted the bar, it was too late. Doctors later confirmed death by asphyxiation and traumatic chest compression. This is not an isolated incident. Bench press deaths happen because no spotter, ego lifting, overestimating strength, ignoring safety racks. What makes this terrifying is how quiet it is. No explosion, no screaming, just a man slowly losing oxygen under the weight he chose. Lesson: if you bench heavy without a spotter, you are gambling with your life. Case 2. The treadmill collapse. Cardio machines look harmless, especially treadmills, but treadmills have silently killed hundreds of people worldwide. In one tragic case, a middle-aged man collapsed mid-run. He had been jogging at high speed for over 30 minutes. He didn't fall immediately. First, his steps became uneven. Then his posture slouched. Then his legs simply gave out. He collapsed backward, hitting his head on the moving belt. The treadmill didn't stop. His body was dragged, his neck twisted unnaturally, and by the time emergency services arrived, he was already gone. The cause? Undiagnosed heart disease. Many people don't realize intense cardio spikes heart demand. Sudden collapse is common in hidden cardiac conditions. Gyms rarely screen members medically. Doctors later said the man showed clear warning signs: chest discomfort, dizziness, unusual fatigue, all ignored. Lesson: cardio doesn't look dangerous, but for the heart, it can be deadly if ignored. Case 3. Deadlifts, ego, and a snapped spine. Deadlifts are praised as the king of exercises, but they are also among the most dangerous. In a highly publicized incident, a powerlifter attempted a record-breaking deadlift without proper form. Witnesses heard a loud sound, like a crack. It wasn't the bar. It was his spine. He collapsed instantly, unable to move his legs, screaming in pain. Emergency surgery was attempted, but complications followed. Within days, he died from internal bleeding and neurological trauma. This wasn't a beginner. This was an experienced lifter. So what went wrong? Extreme load, improper spinal bracing, fatigue, pressure to perform. Lesson: experience does not make you immune to physics. Case 4. Rhabdomyolysis, the invisible killer. Some gym deaths don't happen instantly. They happen days later. A condition called rhabdomyolysis occurs when muscles break down so severely that they release toxins into the bloodstream. One young woman attended an intense boot camp workout. She pushed herself despite pain, despite nausea, despite weakness. 2 days later, she collapsed at home. Her kidneys had failed. She died in the hospital. Rhabdomyolysis symptoms include extreme muscle pain, dark urine, swelling, weakness. Most people ignore it. Lesson: pain is not always progress.